on the minutes.
Make a motion?
And, motion to follow the following reports: tax collector, municipal court, zoning, and the 2023 annual tax collector report.
Second.
Okay, we have the recognition of judges from the holiday house decorating contest. It was, Collinswood Rotary and the Collinswood High School Interact Club.
Are any of the members of the Rotary or Interact Club here tonight? Okay, we'll try and get them another time. Maybe we'll stop.
Doesn't make us any less grateful.
Yeah.
For the work and the folks that did a great job, sort of bringing a little holidays.
The decoratees and the judges of decoratees, we appreciate it, right? Go ahead.
We have the first reading of ordinance 1778, adopting a redevelopment plan for 30 Haddon Avenue.
31st.
31st.
This is the Presbyterian Church at Burn and Maple. It is, there's this plan will put zoning in place to allow residential use there. It would be it's roughly 28 apartments. This is the zoning that puts in place. A public hearing on this plan will be at our February 6th. It is February 6th.
Mayor Mallon,
Yes.
Commissioner Wojciechowski.
Yes.
Rob. Yes. Any public comment on the resolution agenda?
Anyone have any comments? This public comment time is limited to only items that are on the agenda. If you have anything else you want to talk about, we're happy to talk about it, but only agenda items. Yeah.
Can I
Sharon,
just,
name and name and address for the record.
oh, Sharon Ritz, 624 Stokes Avenue in Collingswood. I just wanted to ask you to clarify, you're having a meeting related to 30 Fern on February 6th.
February 6th is the second reading of our commission meeting. Second reading of the ordinance that will adopt a redevelopment plan for that project.
For that project, and because, we wrote you an email
Yes.
about this. So is there something between now and then that will just let us know what that plan is, or are you discussing it at that meeting?
No, it's not. Well, I can address it right now while you're raising it.
Thank you.
My response to you was that they have to conform to the law. Okay. We've advised, the question that was raised that Sharon sent us in an email had to do with, tell me if I'm wrong, but in a nutshell, that, is there going to be a 3-bedroom affordable unit in that project?
It was more about, are there going to be affordable housing units in that project? We were alerted by the notion that there should be 3-bedroom units, and that was sort of what kind of triggered our question.
Okay, so my response was that they're gonna follow our ordinance, follow the law. They've been advised since day one that there's an affordable requirement.
Okay.
Our ordinance, since your question, I had our planner take a look at it, just clarify. You pointed the sections of the ordinance that talk about percentage breakdowns of 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. There's also provisions in the ordinance that relate to projects that are not within our identified settlement agreement and identified as affordable projects. Okay, so when the affordable housing plan was put together, it identifies potential sites where there's a realistic opportunity for housing, for affordable housing. This site was not included in that because it was a church. And it's not, the sites that are included in that are the Jackstram site was up for sale and like kind of empty vacant parcels are what for the most part in there. So the section of our ordinance that deals with projects that aren't part of your settlement says that for projects of this size, there's an option that they can make a payment in lieu. Okay, they can pay money instead of building the affordable units. It's in our ordinance. That's not what we want to do. We want them, we've told them from the beginning, they gotta include affordable units. Because there's no 3-bedroom units in this project, mainly because of we're dealing with an existing building, we're gonna fit that into a building. I've had some conversation with Adam Gordon, who runs Fair Share. He's going over to, we'll have some more discussion, but we're gonna try to do, and because our ordinance gives us latitude here. We're probably gonna do something where it's it's 1 and 2 bedroom units, it's not, but not a 3. The plan is being put in place, the zoning being put in place. Has all of the residential parking parked on site. Based on 1 and 2 bedrooms, throw the 3 bedroom in there, it's gonna throw us off, but change the parking space. So, probably not gonna be a 3 bedroom unit in it, but it's definitely gonna have affordable units in it. It's gonna conform with the kind of the spirit of our statute, of our ordinance, which says, for projects at the site, you gotta, we want.
Right, okay, thank you, and thank you for
Yeah,
contacting
thank you.
Adam as well.
Oh, yeah.
Great resource.
Yeah, we talk to them all the time on this. So, and there was a meeting with the neighborhood before the holidays and kind of that was all laid out. It was all laid out with the neighborhood, and they're expected. So,
Okay, good,
yeah,
thank you,
okay.
thank you.
Okay, any other questions on agenda items? Anybody? Okay, all right, no, listen, tonight, there's a lot, this is our, well, no, let's do the first resolution first, and then everybody pretty much is going. Let's do the first resolution, guys. We'll keep Henry to get home in time to see the game.
I like it.
Yeah.
Appointed Scott Glenn as full-time firefighter EMT for the College Fire Department.
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations. I know you're up with your family. It's great. I, Stephen. I, Scott Lorenzo. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, to the governments. To the governments established in the United States. Established in the United States. And in this state. And in this state. Under the authority of the people. Under the authority of the people. And that I will faithfully. And I will faithfully. Impartially. And justly perform. And justly perform. All the duties. All the duties as firefighter EMT. As firefighter EMT. For the Borough of Collingswood Fire Department. For the Borough of Collingswood Fire Department. According to the best of my ability. According to the best of my ability. So help me God. Welcome. Thank you. Good Lord. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what a good sign, sir? Thank you. All right, congratulations. And all of you, thank you for your service. Start a new year. We appreciate all of the work that all of you guys, ladies and gentlemen, do. You are free to go. You do not have to hang around except for Hudson. Yeah. And you're all free to go. Okay, you want to head out, but that's the. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. So the rest of the resolutions now. They're kind of in 3 sections. A lot of these are started here. We have to reappoint people on different boards, commissions, different spots. And then there's also, and then we'll be rolling into contracts, which is again, hire a professional for the year and running through that. So we're going to do these in blocks. Holly will run through what they are, and we'll do single votes on them as we go.
Reappointed Andrew Dalton, municipal housing liaison, clean communities coordinator, representative to the Kansas County Community Development and the alternate fund commissioners of the Camden County Municipal Joint Fund for the Borough of Collinswood. Reappointing, Kay Collinsville as registered municipal clerk for the Borough of Collinswood. Appointing Stephen DiOrio as recycling coordinator for the Borough of Collinswood. Reappointing Andrew Marker as safety coordinator for the Borough of Collinswood. As needed for electrical inspector and electrical subcode official for the Borough of Collinswood Construction Department. Reappointing municipal court personnel, Renee Kraus, municipal court recorder, Christine DeVivo as municipal violations court clerk, and Robert Eckert as municipal court bailiff. Reappointing special law enforcement officers class 1, Victoria Sheffield, Kevin Dugan, and Della Brown, Joseph Rivera, John Longo. Reappointing special law enforcement officers class 2, Robert Jeffkey, and reappointing Anne Marie Dunn as member of the Collinswood Library Board.
So let's vote on those. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next we have.
Next block is professional contracts.
Appointing Weber Consulting as information technology consultant, Brown Connery as municipal attorney and labor counsel. Connor Strong Companies as risk management consultants, Farnsworth and Stephen Computer LLC for ambulance and fire department billing services. Phoenix Advisors LLC is financial advisors, Parker McKay as bond counsel and special counsel. Ford Scott and Associates as municipal auditor. Remington and Vernick as municipal engineers and land use engineer. SLK Communities Consulting LLC as marketing and grant consultant. Charles Wigington as municipal public defender. Timothy Higgins as municipal prosecutor. Brett Wilkie as historic board solicitor. Independent Animal Control for Animal Control Services. Madden and Madden as land use solicitor. Quality cleaning for janitorial services. Timothy Scafidi as special counsel for conflict matters. Authorizing an agreement with Voorhees Animal Shelter for the 2024 shelter services. And authorizing an agreement with Edmonds and Associates for software support in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're gonna do on the next section, we're gonna do the resolutions. The last one we'll do is about the designating official newspapers for legal advertising. Go ahead.
Appointing a public officer pursuant to the New Jersey Abandoned Properties Rehab Act. Approving the cash management plan for the Borough of Collinswood in 2024. Approving depositories for the Borough of Collinswood funds in 2024, per bank. Approving year 2024 temporary budget appropriations. Approving the interest and grace period on taxes, water and sewer in 2024. And authorizing the tax assessor to file appeals in 2024. And designating the official newspapers for legal advertising.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we have authorizing the lease agreement between the Borough of Collinswood and the County of Camden for the property located at 520 New Lake Drive.
Commissioner Lewandowski, we'll talk about this.
Yeah, so this is the county property essentially at the foot of Browning, at Newton Lake. We've had for several years, trouble finding a place for our Odyssey to Demise program, recreation program. Thankfully, we were able to identify and the county did fabulously cooperative in helping us find space for kiddos. So this would make it all do well for 2024. Yes.
Yes.
Adopting procedures for the administration and its federal and highway projects.
Pretty self-explanatory, yes.
Authorizing the advertise for RFQ for the Water Tower Development Project.
So with the start of construction for the new public works building on the other side of Route 130, for those of you who've been around for a while, that was the site of the old Entity Marine building. As we're starting construction on that public works facility, we're going out on an RFQ to begin the process to look at development of what was the public works building and the area, what was the police station, all the area back here by the water towers. We're gonna go out to seek some developers to that, we can qualify, and then ask them for proposals for development back here. It's long been our plans, we've talked about it for a long time, there can be some substantial development back here. Parking will be an issue, we'll need to have a net gain in parking back here and be able to park. I don't know what it's gonna be, we'll see what proposals people submit. But this is starting that process, going out, and asking people to submit their qualifications. Yes.
Yes,
Authorize the planning board to conduct a preliminary investigation of 300 Haddon Avenue as a condemnation area in need of redevelopment.
So this is, there's two different, resolutions here, kind of focused on the same property. One is also a foreclosure, and they're both, it's the NGMA, what used to be NGMA's gas station. It's the station at Browning and, Haddon Ave. Has a pretty severe environmental contamination in it. Taxes haven't been paid for a while, the tax, in the tax sale, nobody bought the lien. That lien is now owned by the borough, so we're not getting any of our tax revenue for that property. And it's a great corner, so we're starting the process to examine whether it fits redevelopment criteria. Here we are, and then we're also on the two resolutions down, we're authorizing foreclosure on the in-rem tax procedure to allow us to get the property. The redevelopment designation will help us do something with the property after we get it. The second one is going to help us expedite the process to get the property. So yes.
yeah,
Referring ordinance 1778 to the College Planning Board for the adoption of a redevelopment plan at 30 Front.
So this is the Presbyterian plan, will now go to the planning board for a determination that is consistent with our master plan. This is after the planning board to take.
yes,
And then we had the foreclosure.
And this is the foreclosure of that property, help us get the NGMA, the old NGMA gas station, Browning.
yes,
Canceling tax balances and water sewer balances for 627 Haddon.
Yes.
yeah,
And approving the payment of bills and general water and sewer accounts.
yes.
Here at this video, look at my,
It's like, yeah,
happy New Year. And we have our gala coming up at the end of the month. If you haven't got this, some tickets available, right?
20 tickets left.
Tickets. So get on it or get left out.
Yeah, and can I just add something to that? So one of the things we're doing this year is, this is actually a fundraiser, which is going to, the proceeds are gonna help buy inclusive and adaptive playground. So it's great, great night for great party and fun things, and we'll do some good at the same time, so it's fantastic. I still have the floor, or did I?
Because I had that part in my head.
So the only other thing I was gonna mention is, because it's coming up, is Martin Luther King Day. It's not just a day off, it's a day on. Sustainable Collingswood will be leading a community cleanup on MLK Day. We're gonna be doing the 130 corridor, Jeff, is that right?
and 130, yes.
And 130 in that area. So you can get information on collingswood.com, and we'll see you there. So I got.
The only one I've got is the Collingswood Community Theater is putting on a production of this, Putnam County Spelling Bee later this month, January 19, 20, 26, and 27 over the Scottish Rite. Trying to make sure you stop by. I do not have one. It's okay. That's a quitter. We'll open up to the floor. Anybody have anything they'd like to bring before commissioners? Yes, sir. Just give me your name and address, correct?
Sure, Mark Nam, 1 East Collins. I appreciate the chance to speak and address the council members today. I'm actually trying to get ahead of an issue that's gonna be hitting the zoning board. It should have already, but I believe it's been delayed, holidays and sickness. There's a particular solution I think might work, or at least something we can look into that would work for the borough, for the business, and I believe for the residents as well. There just seems to be a lot of angst in my neighborhood, so I kind of want to kind of head it off before it gets there. I'll give you a little background about myself before I get there. My name is Mark Nam. My wife and I bought our house in 2016 on 1 East Collins. We have a child there now. He's 6 years old. He is literally the definition of Collingswood. He's beautiful and loving and warm. He literally embodies everything. He's soaked it all up. We're so happy to be here. I tell you that to tell you that we have our feet entrenched here and we don't want to go anywhere. We love the neighborhood. And so the project that's bringing a little bit of angst to the neighborhood is the proposed expansion of El Fiore. I don't want to, we're not here to get into the semantics about the variations they're asking for and things of that nature. What I did want to bring in something where I did kind of feel a little bit from the neighbors is with these expansions, are we just getting left behind? The business grows, we deal with possible parking, we deal with this, but what happens for us? What, are we thought about? And one of the things I thought about, I am the closest neighbor to El Fiore. I can stick out my hand and touch them. They eat, I insist that they eat on my side instead of sitting on the floor. They are good, well-respected mannered boys. They're and they run a very good business. I think it's great. But however, one thing that hasn't been taken care of is that alley in the back. And the alley in the back, we can all agree, it just doesn't look that great. It's an alley. However, it's an alley that faces an entire neighborhood. It's about 40 backyards that see that alley, including that gray wall, 3-story gray concrete wall without windows. My friends, when they come over, affectionately call it the jail area. So one of the things we were thinking is, could there be some type of project, whether it be a mosaic, and I did speak to you, the local Philadelphia Mosaic, I have her name, I'll mention in a second. Society, yes, I spoke to her and some other artists. They said, you can't even think about doing this without at least getting a sense of where the council's at for this. This would be on that big wall behind El Fiore that's about 3 stories. Something that would be dedicated sincerely to Collingswood and Collingswood only. No commercial tie at all. It would be an homage to our history. I believe that there is an historic tree that's planted there that's right there that maybe we could shed some light on. And so instead of the winter, instead of this gray monstrosity going through 40 backyards, we could have something beautiful. And we can even get the community involved in building it and build some of it offsite and then, put it up there. I've talked to the Council of El Fiore. They're very well receptive to it. But again, we wanted to kind of get a feeling because we know that there's some issues with art and businesses. So we didn't want to go down that route without at least kind of exploring it here and kind of saying, this is an idea. Where do we go next from here to make sure that we have kind of your blessing at least to look at it as a possibility.
So we actually, in the last couple of weeks, I've actually had discussion with Touch, the borough with Touch, because they have a pretty active mural public art program. We do a bunch of work with them, and I'm trying to get more information from them. The issue's always been this. First off, it's not just something that would be done for that spot. Okay, it has to be. It's viewed as a sign. Okay, it's viewed as a sign. So the issue then becomes, well, how does it get regulated? How do you regulate? You can regulate, the size of it, all that kind of stuff. What you can't, I'm trying to find, what you can't regulate in it is the content. Okay, so one person's sign that they love or statement that they love could also be a statement that a majority of people would not love. Okay, so it's really just trying to find a way to come up with some kind of medium, and Metuchen is doing it pretty well right now. And you referenced Philly, their public art system. So I don't know. I'm trying to find out how. We just had discussion with their community development folks about how they're doing, how they're regulating. Yeah. It's kind of like you want to regulate it and control it, but let it be just regulate it or control it so it's not the worst of the worst. Like nobody wants a swastika painted up, but somebody might want to put that on their wall. Okay, and so when you're looking at doing zoning and allowing that, you just got it. Like I said, you can't regulate the content. That's the speech of it. So that's just the kind of thing, like we're looking at it, I think we're open to like trying to figure a way.
I think it would be a beautiful precedence to set that when these expansions happen, they look behind them and say, all right, what can we do for the business behind them? And again, it goes good for El Fury, who has done nothing back there, and so it's been a blight, and now all of a sudden is asking the neighborhood to take it on the chin for them, and there's not that goodwill there. So that's what I'm saying, it could be something that sets in, and beautiful columns with artists to be.
I think to get to your original thing with Sharon is I think there's an interest in public art of this kind. We just don't know how yet. So I think getting there and, you know, the first step, and this is why the mayor did this, is go to those that are doing it. And go, well, and learn from them, so you don't have to start from scratch.
Well, we're here to tell you that we're interested, and there's a beautiful place to maybe start, do maybe your first or second, and I'm first vice president of Morgan Stanley, so any resources I can help with, you know, as far as finding the right people and or possibly, you know, funding, I'm here to.
There's plans, for a public park, a park that we're doing in front of, on the water line, right in there. And that same thing's creating another dead space on the wall. That's never been addressed as, was never a front of a building that was looked at, or a side that was built, was looked at having, trying to have some distinctive architectural features. So it's relevant in a lot of.
Me and my wife have already gone back and forth about what we want to see there and not. I'd have a big picture to Brett Frank, but she goes, I don't want that staring at me all day. So I get all that, but we're just trying to start the process to see if it can get somewhere. So thank you.
And I think for everyone else, like El Fiore, the expansion they're considering is, I have an application, right, it's been delayed a month, I believe, is, put a third floor on with a few apartments, on the upstairs. That's what their expansion is. Sharon,
So I can actually,
just name and address.
Sharon Ritz, 624 Stokes Avenue.
Thank you.
I can actually speak to this gentleman's suggestion that he spoke to someone from the Mosaic Society of Philadelphia, because I'm one of the early members of that group as well. And there are a number of us mosaicists in Collingswood. And what I can tell you is that this is something that the group, various members of the group have experience with. They've made murals in different places, Apple Farms Camp. We've done things in Camden. There's people who have done things all over the place. So if that ended up being something that you wanted to actually think about and find out more about, Veronica Kairos,
Yes,
probably who you spoke to. There are resources right in Collingswood that you can talk to get information on that. And of course, they work with the community. They don't make these things up on their own. They work with the members who live here, and it would be a joyful experience for everyone.
Yeah, she even said they do some of it off site so they can get the school involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
And I-
ways to do these things.
Once you get to the planning and the artistic things, it's a whole different thing. So we gotta deal with
Yeah,
the legal side of it first, and then that sort of kind of creates the parameters, then the fun stuff happens. You know, get the creative involved.
And some of the public spots, we did it.
The pool is beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
When you get into know of doing private property, allow private property owners to do it, so it's just a. We just gotta do it so that. It
I mean, they'll fear
it is the wonderful thing we all think of, that's all, that's all. What else, anybody else?
abstractly with the point.
Yeah, it's not, no, I'm trying to figure out what, yeah, trying to figure out what, it's a very timely concern, not just for your, where you think. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, we're adjourned.